Welcome back to another episode of MITZ TV by Best of San Diego, a mitzvah event specialist association. Before we get into this video, make sure that you guys subscribe to the Best of San Diego YouTube channel and also like this video down below and leave a comment. Thanks so much, and now on with the show. Hi, D'Angelo here from Balada Entertainment, back with another episode of MITZ TV. So today's episode is another fun one with another makeup tutorial by Beauty by Heather. So on today's tutorial, we're going to take a quick look into no eyeshadow looks. It may sound tricky, but remember, we are going to break this down for you. It's a lot easier than it sounds, and this is going to make you look great. Let's check it out.
Hi everyone, so today I'm going to teach you one of my most requested looks. I call it the no eyeshadow look. I already have my foundation on and concealer. I did my brows and my lips. So I'm going to make this one really quick and easy. Always start with an eye base. Today I'm going to use the MAC paint pot, but there's so many out there. And a little goes a long way. So scooping a small amount out onto the back of my hand. It's best not to get in the habit of sticking your fingers into your makeup, same with brushes, just from a hygienic standpoint. And so then I'm just applying the eye base all over the lid from the lash line up to the brow, as always. And you'll notice I'm using just a flat brush, and I'm making just little patting motion. It's a pat and stroke at the same time. So these quick little motions really help spread the makeup and blend it in nicely. And I like to bring it into the corner, outer corner, because I always get a little red there for some reason. And with all, or with any cream products, you always want to make sure you put the lid on right away because they dry out quickly. Next, I'm going to take a translucent powder with a very fluffy brush, like so, and I'm just going to dust the shadow all the way from the lash line up to the brow bone. So I'm basically just setting the eye base so that when I move into my first eyeshadow color, it blends and glides easily. So you can see already that really opens up the eyes and brightens the eyes. So now I'm going to take a bronzer. This one just happens to be two different colors, but it doesn't matter. Just take whichever bronzer you have. I'm going to take the darkest color with a crease brush, and I'm going to dab the excess off on the back of my hand. And then I'm taking that crease color and I'm bringing it right into the crease. So if you have hooded eyes, I recommend keeping your eyes open when you do this step. And that way you'll make sure that you go up high enough so that you can see the shadow and so that it does the job of opening up the eyes. And I'm just going to go back and forth in windshield wiper motions. I'm taking it out a little bit to the side, and I'm now probably on like my fourth layer. So depending on the eyeshadow you have, or the bronzer, you could use eyeshadow, of course. So bronzer or eyeshadow in this medium brown color. It depends on how pigmented the shadow is. The one that I'm using here is not very pigmented, so I'm gonna go in a bunch of times with layers. And then I'm going to get the excess shadow off on the back of my brush. The excess shadow on my brush off onto a Kleenex. And then I'm just going to blend in that same windshield wiper motion. So we want most of the color to be in this outer portion of the eye, and then you just blend whatever's left over onto the brush into the inner corner, like so. And then I'm going to grab my fluffy brush again. And since I have this duo shadow, I'm going to take the lighter bronzer, but you can just take your translucent powder. And then I'm just going to dust that over the brow bone, diffusing the edges between the darker color and the lighter color. So this is just a really great blending technique. It's a very light touch here. So as you can see, it doesn't look like I have any eyeshadow on, but it's a big improvement from when I didn't have any. So you can leave it like that, or you can go back into your translucent powder with a flat brush and take the powder onto the brush, and we're just going to apply it right here into the inner portion of the lid. And you can see how that just brightens up the eyes even more. That's it. That's all I'm going to do for shadow. I am going to line eyes. I highly recommend lining if you're not going to use that much shadow. But before I do that, I'm going to curl my lashes. That's also a crucial step for this look, because when you curl your lashes, it really opens up the eyes. And now taking my liner, I'm using a brown liner, which I would recommend for this type of look. You can experiment with black if you have really dark features. And I'm going to take that along. Let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. Nope. I'm going to take that along the lash line, and I'm taking it as close to the lashes as possible. And I'm bringing it all the way into the inner corner of the eye. And I think I'll also line underneath the lashes if your eyes can tolerate it. I like to, again, it's almost as though I'm bringing the liner in between the lashes versus going onto the waterline, but that really makes a big difference in making the eyes stand out, but without the look of having a lot of eyeshadow on. So same thing on this side. And if you have a hard time keeping it really close to the lash line, you might want to experiment with doing these little hash marks, which is what I'm doing. Or you can balance or steady your hand with your pinky on your cheek. And then I'm going to take it underneath. There. And I already have concealer underneath my eyes, so I'm going to go right into my eyeliner for underneath, and I'm going to take the darkest color here, and I'm going to use any sort of eyeliner brush. And actually, I take that back. First, I'm going to go into, since I happen to have the two colors, I'm going to take the lightest color first, and I'm going to sweep that all the way underneath the lash line. And then I'm going to take the darker color and just bring it right into this outer third of the eye. Next, mascara, of course. And my favorite technique is wiggling it at the base of the lash and then moving it up to the tips of the lashes. And with this look, you want to make sure you grab every little lash that you can, because since we're not using that much eyeshadow, the mascara plays a really big role. And then we'll finish up with some blush and bronzer. I just want to show you I think it's kind of cool when you can use one product for your shadow and your bronzer. So I'll just show you guys that real quick. And I prefer putting mascara on the bottom lashes, but it's individual preference. Okay. Taking my same bronzer, I'm going to just swirl them together with a big fluffy bronzer brush today. And then I'm going to sweep that underneath my cheekbones and along the jawline. I was thinking of doing a contouring tutorial next. Love to hear what you guys think of that idea. So I also bring it up onto the forehead and across the bridge of the nose. I'm gonna go a little bit. One nice blending technique is just to kind of brush it up towards your cheek. And then last but not least, some blush. I'm going to use, I have my blush handy. Just using a very natural blush color. And I'm bringing it, it's almost like you're frosting a cake. It's a patting motion. You don't want to press too hard because you don't want to wipe off the makeup underneath. And then what you can also do just as a finishing touch is take your crease brush again with a little bit of the blush and just bring it into your crease, just to add a little pop. There, that's it. So hopefully that was pretty easy to follow. Always open to feedback. Would love to hear what other videos you'd like to see. And I'll hopefully see you guys soon. Miss you. I think I'm gonna get to start working. I've heard that they're about to let makeup artists go back to work, so can't wait. I'm available, so let me know if you have anything you want your makeup done for. Otherwise, we can do virtual sessions, which I love doing. Okay, see you guys soon.
Okay, that was another fabulous look at the no eyeshadow look provided by Beauty by Heather. And in the studio again, we have Miss Heather Arnold.
Hi.
Hey, Heather.
Hi, DJ. How are you?
How are you doing?
Great.
So that was a really, really great look here that we created. And so I just have a few questions for you.
Sure.
Okay, so now I'm going to go into a little bit of, your event history. So I know that that you've done plenty of events here on mitzvahs and things. And so when choosing a makeup artist for your bar bat mitzvah or even a wedding, what are the most important things that you think that somebody should look for?
Okay, well, one thing I would suggest is that the person hiring the makeup artist, that they take a look at the makeup artist's social media. Most likely, I mean, most makeup artists post a lot on their Instagram versus Facebook. So I would take a look at their Instagram, and then I would take a look at their website, and if they have one, and you'll probably notice that they have like a certain look that they are, known for.
With their brand.
And so you kind of, I mean, you should take that into consideration. I'm not saying that if you don't see the exact look you're going for, and you still are interested in that makeup artist, you can talk with them and show them pictures of what you want. And the makeup artist will, you'll decide, okay, am I the right makeup artist for you? Are you the right client for me? It's kind of one of those, you just want there to be a good fit. And so A, you want to look at their work, but B, you want to show the makeup artist pictures and, decide if they can provide you with the look you're going for.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to that, would you suggest doing a makeup trial, and about how soon should you do it? Should you do it closer to the event, or should you do it when you actually book the artist?
I would say the best time to do a trial is 3 to 4 months before the event. Yes, so I do recommend a trial. I mean, for weddings always. For events, I mean, it's kind of, I guess it's just personal preference. So one nice thing that you can do is if you have like a party coming up and that would be a good day to get your trial done.
Okay.
If you're getting married, another great day to get your trial done is on the day of your engagement photo shoot. So that's what we recommend or suggest. So that at least, I mean, because you have to pay for a trial.
Mm-hmm.
So then at least, you're getting your money's worth by being able to wear the makeup somewhere that you want to be seen.
Absolutely.
Rather
So
than
you
just go home and wash it off,
a bigger bang for your buck, basically. So
exactly.
Heighten up the look, even if it's a really good date night, that's when you want to do your trial, not when you want to be sitting around the house.
Right.
So, okay. So another thing too that I was noticing when you were doing this tutorial, that for the lips, that we just did the lip liner around and so is lip gloss still a trend right now? Is that something that
definitely. Lip gloss will never go out. The one thing to keep in mind with lip gloss is if you're going to be in a lot of photos, the photographers that I've worked for tell me that they don't really want too heavy on the lip gloss because it just casts too much of a shine. And then if they're using a flash, that can be an issue. But lip gloss is great. I mean, it's personal preference, but definitely lip gloss will never go out. Some people just really like the matte finish, which is more of a dry finish. But so like I said, personal preference, and it can go with any look.
Absolutely. Now, when somebody is looking, in these times right now, just being overly cautious, is it something that would be typical for somebody to book you as a makeup artist, but then provide their own makeup? Is it something that you can collaborate and let them know what extra things that they need in their kit to make this happen? And then are you happy to use other people's brushes? How does that work with you?
Okay, so this is a conversation I've had with other makeup artists, and what we've all decided is that we can use someone else's makeup, but we're going to want to use their brushes also, because we're not going to want to dip our brushes into someone else's makeup. Even though we sanitize our brushes and everything like that, it's kind of one of those things, like there's really no reason for us to use someone else's makeup if we're still putting our own brushes in it,
Absolutely.
Like, it just doesn't make sense. So what I would say is, if the client definitely wants us to use their own things, it should be makeup and brushes, and the makeup artist needs to know what the client has, so that, like you said, if there's something missing that's crucial to the look, they can go out and get it.
Absolutely.
But I kind of feel like if you're hiring the makeup artist, you need to trust that they are following all of the new protocols to keep everything sanitized. I myself have done 3 different courses on keeping my clients safe. So that's part of one of the things, what we were talking about when you're looking for a makeup artist. That's definitely something you want to take into consideration, is
Absolutely.
how serious they are about that topic.
Absolutely. And so if you are booking somebody in that sense, are there certain qualifications or certifications you should be looking for?
There's a bunch of them out there. I mean, I feel like as long as people have done, there's one called Barbicide, and that one is really super basic. So I personally felt like I needed something more, so I took a couple others on top of that. But there's a lot of them out there. So I would just ask the makeup artist, like, tell me what sort of, extra protocols you practice to clean and sanitize your makeup and brushes. And that's the thing. You want to make sure they're sanitizing their makeup as well. So there's sprays out there that we're now all using to clean the makeup. And then the brushes, it's not enough just to use a brush cleaner. The makeup artists are thoroughly washing the brushes with soap and water after and in between each client. And then after that, disinfecting the brushes. You want to make sure they're not just washing them, but they're also disinfecting the brushes with a spray. And then I use a UV box, which will then sterilize the brushes. And that's kind of just a little extra step, but I don't know that one is like the most crucial to look for, but you do want to make sure that the makeup artist is disinfecting their brushes.
Absolutely. So it's something to think about, especially in these times and just moving forward. Plus, I think it's just for your general health. You're dealing with your eyes, you're dealing with your lips, so you want to make sure that everything that you're using is clean. So it's really great to have a makeup artist like you, especially in our organization, that does take these extra steps and really does care about, the client's health, at the end of the day. So right now, as we are, going into this kind of this whole new world, and that, are there some quick Zoom tips that you can give, like just for people that if they're going to be doing a Zoom meeting, is there anything they can do quick to make it happen?
Well, I'll just give you like some basics, like for me, they'd be like my, I don't know, not my go-to, but my for sure, like 100% would do these things before I got on a Zoom call. I put a foundation on to even out my skin tone, whether it's a liquid foundation, a tinted moisturizer, powder, something just to get an even complexion. And then eyeliner, I think is really important for a Zoom call because the eyeliner really brings out the eyes. And then mascara, of course, definitely want to do mascara for a Zoom call. Some blush on the cheeks, whatever you normally use on your lips. And then one thing that I think is really important for anytime you're going to be on video or film is to use a bronzer. I can show you. So any sort of bronzer, I have one right here, like something like this one right here. And you want to just take it onto a brush, and it just goes like underneath the cheekbones. And that just gives the face a little more structure, because when you're on a Zoom, a video, or a photo, it just naturally, or not naturally, but it automatically will flatten the face. So it takes away any structure that you have. So you want to kind of put that back in before you go onto a Zoom call. And other than that, I mean, that's like a quick, I mean, I do other things, but if I was to only, spend like 5 minutes getting ready for a Zoom call, I would definitely make sure I did all of those things.
So if your boss calls and says, we have 20 minutes to get on a Zoom call, it's quickly do a foundation, let's do eyeliner, some blush, and let's put on those lips.
And mascara.
And mascara.
And then also the bronzer, if you can do that. I couldn't really see what I was doing, so I need to look in a mirror now, but you definitely want to take some color underneath the cheekbones, and that just gives your face a little more definition.
Absolutely. Well, you did a great job without using a mirror, so you can just only imagine what you can do in somebody else. So another, my last little questions here that I have is that, can we keep a makeup artist on for a full event? Is that something that people typically do? And would it be just for touch-ups? Is it something, if somebody wanted to change the eye color, they want to go from day to nighttime, is it something that you guys can provide? Is that a service that's normal?
Definitely. I mean, it's something, obviously you need to communicate with the makeup artist ahead of time, so they reserve the time, but for sure, makeup artists can stay on, for touch-up. We call it touch-ups. But also, if, like you said, they want a different look for the nighttime, like for sure we can stay or leave and come back, but we always, of course, will charge for our time, but that's something you can negotiate with the makeup artist. But yeah, I've been on photo shoots before where I went in, I did the makeup, but they wanted me to stay around just to touch up.
Yeah. So. Well, it's good to have another set of eyes, when you're there, who's going to specifically have your back. If you're the bride, or if you're the mitzvah mom, or the, somebody who's actually getting the mitzvah for them. It's a nice set of eyes that they can have, that's specifically looking to make sure that your face looks good, your hair is not in that kind of a thing. It's just to pull the hair out of the lip gloss, that kind of thing. That you have somebody like you on hand for. And
then I wanted to mention one other thing. You talked about Zoom, and I've actually been hired to do makeup for someone who is having the bar mitzvah on Zoom. So they're doing a Zoom bar mitzvah, but they still have hired me to come in and do the makeup because they know that everyone's going to see them, even though it's not in real life. So it's actually as important that you are spot on with your makeup, whether you're going to be on a video or in person. So that's something to keep in mind.
For those special days, because we still want grandma to see if she lives out in New York. We're going to be putting this on, on a streaming, like either on like YouTube, they'll put it on Facebook, it'll be on Zoom. So you do want to look your best in those situations. Completely get that. Now, if I were to be booking you for a face, and we are only doing, you're only doing us for the main event, what are the maybe 3 or 4 things that would be critical to keep inside your little clutch for the evening to maintain that look that you would do for somebody?
Okay. Well, for sure whatever lipstick or lip gloss that you chose. I also, if you have oily skin, you want to have some blotting paper. So that's just something you can use to kind of soak up some of the oil. Or the other idea would be to have like a compact with some powder in it and a small brush, if that would fit in your, like just a tiny little brush like this and some powder, so that when you go to the bathroom, if you notice that you're really shiny, you want to just take that down because it'll show up in the photos. So for sure that.
And then everything else, I think.
Everything else should really just stay.
Absolutely, because
It's
you're
just
using
the oil. Sometimes the oil is just like out of control. Like no matter what you do, especially like if you're dancing and it's hot, and that's something that you only have so much control over.
Yeah, and then there's a certain point in the night too where it's like you're there to have fun, you don't care anymore. So
That's true.
and that's
Especially
why
after some champagne or whatever.
Yeah, and so when you have that good professional makeup job done, you're gonna look great all night anyways. A little bit of glow from being on the dance floor is a healthy look.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. So thank you so much again, Heather, for joining us today.
Thank you. So much fun.
It has been so much fun having you. It's such a nice change up from our normal MITZ TV episodes to have these makeup tutorials. We really appreciate you being on here.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much.
So again, if you guys want to look up Heather, just check out the ticker below and you guys can find her website, her Instagram, and also her Facebook. And you can also check out the bestofsandiego.com webpage and you can find Heather along with all of our other amazing professional mitzvah vendors. So that has been another episode of MITZ TV. Thank you guys so much. We're going to take you out with one quick trivia. Here we go. Okay, so I'm hoping all of you movie heads got that one, especially if you were a big fan of X-Men. That was the original X-Men poster. You saw that Wolverine hair, so I think that was the biggest clue there. So thank you guys so much again for joining us for another episode of MITZ TV. Today we had a wonderful tutorial by Beauty by Heather Arnold, and you can find all of our information again on the bestofsandiego.com website. Make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel, and thanks so much. Have a great day.